Hi, I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Eastham, and this is Business Line, your global business barometer, coming to you from the top of the world's tallest structure. It's Burj Khalifa in downtown Dubai. It's been over 3 years since the UK's historic vote to leave the European Union, which didn't just send shockwaves around the world, it also wiped off trillions of euros from global markets within hours of the results being announced. Exiting the 28-member bloc has been nothing but an uphill battle. The UK's planned departure from the EU has been delayed twice. It's also claimed the careers of 2 Conservative prime ministers. And now, as we're about to learn in this report, it's hurting investor confidence in the world's 5th largest economy.
Gridlock over what to do about Brexit, with British lawmakers struggling to agree on how or when to take the UK out of the European Union.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about democracy tonight, and the Leader of the House, who I have to say, with his body language throughout this evening, has been so contemptuous.
This was the scene in Parliament in early September as a controversial suspension by the government came into effect, which was later deemed unlawful. All of this just weeks after Boris Johnson lost 6 crucial votes in just 6 days, something unheard of for a new Prime Minister.
Well, I think it's complete chaos, as we all know, and I think it's very disappointing because I think it's polarising the positions.
And I think the final people's vote is the only way to stop it. If there's a general election, it might improve things, it might not, who knows.
And no matter how many devices this Parliament invents to tie my hands, I will strive, Mr. Speaker, to get an agreement in the national interest.
That's what his predecessor, Theresa May, tried to do.
These are about the choices that this House faces.
But MPs rejected her deal 3 times over the so-called backstop, a mechanism designed to protect the Northern Ireland peace deal and maintain an open border. But those custom arrangements could cut off Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK.
In the absence of agreed alternative arrangements, no backstop is no deal for us. All it does is kick the can down the road for another 14 months, another 14 months of uncertainty for business, another 14 months of uncertainty for people north and south of the border. So that's not an option that we find attractive at all.
Johnson has lost his party's majority by kicking out fellow Conservative MPs who voted against the government.
The simple fact is the government hasn't made provision for no deal.
Many of them fearing the economic impact of a hard Brexit.
There's been a lot of information circulated from industry bodies, from leading captains of industry, leaders of large retailers up and down the country who have said their supply chains will be not just fractured, but almost paralysed if we have no deal.
Many major companies who depend on access to the EU's single markets have moved at least part of their operations to mainland Europe. But despite the Brexit gloom, UK workers received their biggest pay increase in over a decade this summer, as unemployment fell to some of the lowest rates in over 40 years.
If there is a hard Brexit, Great Britain will immediately become a country on the fringes. They would fall into a hard recession, and Germany would probably get close to a recession as well.
With the UK's Brexit future being more unclear than ever, it's becoming increasingly unlikely that Boris Johnson will secure a Brexit deal that commands support in Parliament. The UK continues to find itself in a perfect storm, still dealing with the aftermath of the 2016 referendum and a global recession that experts warn is already looming.
Next, the aviation industry is growing increasingly more competitive each year, making it ever tougher for carriers to compete with their global rivals. But this is a challenge that British Airways appears to be embracing with open arms.
Welcome aboard what British Airways say is a brand new travel experience on one of the world's most competitive routes. This is the airline's first Airbus A350, with a launch route operating between London and Dubai.
We're very, very grateful to be able to do that in this market, which is an important market for us. So you'll get to see the brand new Club Suite, our World Traveller Plus cabin, our World Traveller cabin, in-flight entertainment, our luxury bedding across all the cabins, and our investment in our catering, and of course our unique British Airways cabin crew service.
According to the airline, the aircraft boasts reduced CO2 emissions, increased privacy, and higher humidity levels, all of which promote a feeling of well-being. It's all part of a €7 billion investment programme coinciding with BA's centenary this year. It's been a turbulent year for the airline. Despite being ranked top UK airline brand by the YouGov Brand Index 2019, its share price has dropped by nearly 40% since January 2018. Pilot strikes this September led to 1,700 flight cancellations at London Heathrow and Gatwick. It's hoped that this new A350, with its revamped layout and suite, will spell bluer skies for BA moving into 2020.
We wanted to have gate-to-gate in-flight entertainment so customers could watch their IFE from the time that they board to the time that they leave the aircraft. All-aisle access, something that customers have been asking for from a differentiation from what we provide today. Additional storage, so we've provided 40% more storage to our customers throughout the suite, and all apart from one is certifiable for takeoff and landing, so you can bring all of your elements into the suite from the moment you board the aircraft. And then privacy, and being able to flex that privacy for the customer's requirements on the day.
In a competitive market, BA has had to redefine not only its position, but also overhaul the entire in-flight experience and comfort.
So it's a 79-inch bed, 21 inches wide. It has movable armrests, so you can extend the width of your bed depending on how it suits your comfort level. So they're oblique seats, so they're at about a 30-degree angle. We're able to bring our configuration to a 1-to-1 configuration, but we're also still able to maximize the space in the cabin to utilize that for our seat optimization as well. So it had a quality of materials, it had a quality of finish, attention to detail. So these were all the things we wanted to make sure that we brought out in our club suite.
Making the most of what you've got is key in any business, but perhaps especially in an industry that's constantly balancing profit margins with customer loyalty.
So I think we still have a very loyal customer base, really, and I think our customers will continue to be loyal to British Airways, and they come to us for a number of reasons. They come to us because we provide a really unique style, a quality food, and we now offer them a really good product. So I think our customers are coming to us for a variety of reasons. The individual will decide what is the deciding factor for them, but we need to be competitive in the market as well, so we need to offer a competitive price with a competitive product in the market that we're operating in.
An approach that could make one of Britain's most iconic brands even more relevant as it enters its second century in operation.
Well, that's all that we have time for in this edition of Business Line with me, Rebecca McLaughlin-Easton. Be sure to join me again next month for a roundup of the biggest business and investment stories from around the globe. I'll catch you then.